Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DiceWarmers, a podcast where we talk about all things geeky and we sometimes have structure and coherent thoughts. I'm Vass, and with me today, as always, we have Kaz.
Hi.
And that dude we call David.
And that is in right, yes. Hello.
Hello, David.
Hello.
Hello.
So callback. Hello.
Hello. How
I
are
know
you, David?
21
How are you
episodes in.
doing?
I'm doing alright. A little bit caught up in the hay fever, but alright.
Hey,
Fever.
fever.
Hay fever.
Yes. The joyous time of summer. Everyone goes outside. I stay inside because the pollen is too high.
I mean, this has got to be a new thing. I'm talking about hay fever. Like, people have gotten so weak as we've evolved in our cushy lives. I'm including myself in this, by the way. Like, oh, I have allergies. Like, spring doesn't like. What are you talking about? People used to be in the fields, plowing
Yeah.
the earth. Allergies
Yeah,
was not.
Maybe we
know,
did that a bit too much.
I reckon they did exist, but they didn't get as much attention for
they
it, so they just got on with it.
They killed them early on, I think. Because like allergies, get rid of him. We don't need him. We don't need him in the gene pool.
I think they just got It depends on the allergies, but
that's
yeah,
what the
I think
Spartans
you can die
did.
from.
At least that's what the Spartans did. They were
Just
like,
down
if you can't fight, sorry. If you can't
No,
fight
'cause they
or
just-
bear warriors, like so, if you're not a woman and can't fight,
They had people making their clothes. They just went, well, you'll just be our slave. We'll sell you, and that's probably what they did.
They didn't have Spartans make. They had slaves make their clothes.
That's what I mean.
That point.
If you were weak and couldn't bear children, you were a slave.
No. They had slaves from the people they conquered, not from their own people.
Well, what did they do with their own people?
They threw them down the big well called Cadas. Don't you know the story?
What?
People born with deformities or like whatever in ancient Sparta were thrown down this big chasm called Cadas to die.
Does that literally mean
the only person that was spared
long
was what's his name, Ephialtes, who betrayed the 300, as made famous by the film or whatever. But yeah, that's what Spartans used to do. If you can't fight, and if you can't give birth to men, you're of no use to us.
Oh, goodness.
That was Spartan society. Yeah.
I wonder if there was
I'm
a
not saying
society.
we go back to that.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a bit extreme for people with hay fever.
Yeah.
You have hay fever, let's kill you.
I'm just making an observation.
You're allergic to nuts, that's it, you're going down the well. A little bit extreme.
What if you had a dust allergy and a flower allergy? It's a double combo, so do you get kick down there, or
if
do you go down there? I got a dust and a pollen allergy.
So they throw you down once, David, then
they'll pull you back up.
They'll pull you back up and throw you again as an insult.
Yeah. Dust?
No.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Like, what happens when you come in contact with dust?
He doesn't.
I sneeze a lot. And
everybody
eyes burn
sneezes from dust. I don't think that's an allergy.
My eye burns up as well. So
you put dust in your eyes?
No, it just comes into my eyes.
Have you got like an inhaler to keep you alive?
No, I just have a feather duster, a bit of polish, and hopefully that will deter anything.
I mean, do you struggle to breathe? Because if you're getting dust in your eyes or up your nose, you're going to sneeze and have itchy eyes. That's dust. Surely
tiredness.
That's just dust.
You get all those scratches and things, like you feel itchy, and it's annoying because I've had. If you're hearing pingy ping pong sounds, by the way, that's my fucking phone that I forgot to put on silent. I'm really sorry.
Could you do that now, please?
I did.
Thank you. Interrupting our podcast. Rude.
I know there was going to be a rebel on our 21st.
It's not like I had my phone on during a movie.
It's almost
people should go to jail for that.
Yeah,
like
they even do it now.
You should get arrested.
You'd think that we record this podcast at pretty much the same time every week. He'd remember to turn his phone on silent, but apparently we're just not that important to him.
Oh,
just saying.
I do
We're
it for
obviously
20
not
episodes.
that important.
Yeah, I forget for one. You focus on the one episode.
I'm fairly sure we've heard your phone before. I'm not going to listen back, but I'm fairly sure we've heard your phone.
Be honest, you've heard my phone buzz.
That's typical. That's typical. Focus on the one negative thing you do instead of the 20 positive things that you've done.
Yeah,
because that one
basically.
extra thing is order for improvement.
I don't
David?
I don't want to use generalizations, but that's women for you, David.
No, that's just people who take the piss out of you for you.
Wow.
Anyway, Vass, what have you been up to? Wait, did we finish hearing what David was up to? Because he just went on a rant about allergies.
Hay fever.
I've had hay fever for now, yeah. But I've also been...
Have you actually done anything?
I have been watching E3 this year with Vass and myself.
Unfortunately, that is true.
Invited.
You weren't invited because you never accept our invitations. You're like, I have to be with my boyfriend and be happy.
When you That's not true. To be fair, I was asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. I was asleep. There wasn't a lot I could do about it. I fell asleep, okay?
No,
I didn't mean to. It just happened.
To be honest, I wish I did sleep through it because it was abysmal this year. I have to say it was abysmal this year.
I actually enjoyed it because I got to say really nasty things about people, which is one of my favorite things.
One of your favorite hobbies, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You do enjoy saying nasty things about people.
I believe David will back me up on this, that a lot of those were warranted. Mm-hmm. Like, Jesus Christ, some of the things we saw.
Really? Like what? I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but from what you guys are saying, I might just not.
It was the amount of CG trailers, but no actual gameplay shown.
Oh, really?
It was kind of like...
Yeah, it's like...
I like when they show us show us actual gameplay so we know what it's going to be like, not what they hope it to be like.
But now, even when they do show gameplay, it's not gameplay. It's gameplay that's been edited and maneuvered around, to tell a specific narrative, instead of just record 20 minutes of gameplay, please, so I can see how the game plays out. That's all I'm asking. Like, how many trailers we saw that said world premiere? Here's a CGI video we made about the game that we're going to release in 5 years from now.
Yes.
Get excited and pre-order. No.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
It was just generally that was a trailer. Oh, nice bit of gameplay. Oh, there was only 5 seconds of it. Oh, nice.
And can I just say, the best games we saw were indie games. Mm-hmm. We really need to support indie developers. They showed gameplay, they showed interesting new ideas, instead of here's Ratchet & Clank 12 or whatever. Okay, maybe a poor choice of game, because
David loves that, yeah.
I love that.
I know. But the point I'm trying to make is, like, the industry doesn't take any chances anymore. It's sad. Because it used to be, like, there used to be passion. It used to be an art form, but now these companies have seized control, and it's all about the money now, isn't it? So these boards of directors, they don't care. Like, if you tell them this thing we can do will increase our profits by 200%, they're gonna say, do it. Then do it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, one of the announcements, Nintendo, for instance, they practically showed what they wanted to show. So, of course, you had a Zelda, of course, you had a Mario game, of course, you had all these smaller titles updates. But they also had surprises in there. And I think that's what we're missing this year. Was like, ooh, big surprising. I was hearing about this. And it wasn't leaked either.
I didn't actually see the Nintendo conference. So what was some of the surprises that they showed, David?
One of them being Metroid Dread, a new 2D Metroid game, and it's canonically the 5th in the series of Fusion.
Okay, Metroid. I like Metroid.
Yes. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is going to get another name for the new title, and it's coming out in 2022, and it's going to...
I think I saw some screenshots about that, and it was like in the sky, and there was lots of clouds and stuff, and it looked like there was going to be a lot of aerial aspects to it.
Yes, and that's what I think with Breath of the Wild, it was just grass plains, or you had the ancient beasts. But this one, you have caves, you have sky, you have. I think there was a bit of water in there as well. But
I'll be honest, the one thing I miss about the new Zelda games is dungeons.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, like A Link to the Past had the best like dungeons. You know, where you go in and you go down and there's like a new level and you reach the end boss and it's like, oh my god. I didn't get that with the new Zelda games. Other than that, they're amazing games, but I feel like I needed a bit more dungeons in my game.
But also,
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, Breath of the Wild is very out in the open on the plains, isn't it? So
yeah, it's the first sandboxy Zelda they've had.
Yeah, which I absolutely love about the game. But yeah, there are no
it was
dungeons.
an amazing game. There's no doubt about that. It was really good. What I noticed about E3 was, which one was it that we were watching, David? Was it Microsoft?
Yes, that was the first one.
A really weak like conference. You know how you want to end on a high, Kaz? Yeah. So you save like your big set piece for last.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go, before we go, check this out. You know, and you wink at the camera, and then you show this. Oh my god, the game that's coming out. I can't even tell you what they showed. I can't even remember.
Was it bad? You can't remember it? Oh.
It was a concept for a vampire game with futuristic technology, which is fine.
Hang on, it was a concept of a game. Oh god,
yes, I remember now.
Yeah.
It was, I can't even, like, if you ask me to describe the game, I don't think I can. Like, it was, the graphic style was a bit like Borderlands. They tried to go a bit humor, but dark. But if you ask me, like, is the game a shooter? I don't know. Is a game? I have no clue what the game is about, and the trailer didn't excite me like at all.
No,
there's nothing there. Nothing to make me go, oh my god, I need to buy an Xbox. You know, nothing. And I'm like, Jesus Christ! Oh, and the game before that. Do you remember, David, the Forza whatever, the racing game?
Oh yeah, Forza Horizon 5. I love a fifth one. A fifth one.
The Forza. What was the nickname I gave it? The
game with diversity.
Yeah, there we go. The diversity Forza, because it's set in Mexico for no reason whatsoever. And like the cultural appropriation, like they're trying to be, we're so diverse, and then they have you chase piñatas with your car.
No.
and I'm like, okay, so you clearly think that's what Mexico is. Piñatas smashing.
Shit.
Yeah,
like, oh my God.
The way they cut it as well, it was like a... so it went, here's 5 seconds of gameplay. Now we'll switch back over to this other person we don't actually see playing the game. Then switch back to another 10 seconds and went, okay, yeah.
It was the worst. Like, I can't even put into words how bad it was and how they tried to tell you, look, this is fun. Look what we're doing. It's fun. No, it isn't.
Nope.
It really isn't. And you should be ashamed of developing that game.
Yeah. Oh, the one big thing is that, so after E3, there were a lot of discussions of where is this game? Where is that game? Where's that guy? So Perfect Dark, and there used to be, not Everwild. There used to be a game itself. Yeah, I think it was Everwild. The other Rare game. So they showed Sea of Thieves, but there was another Rare game that was shown earlier this year.
Okay.
According to people internally, the whole game has been scrapped and is planned to come out in about 4 or 5 years with a totally new direction. So have they been doing that for a lot of their titles, you wonder? That was
I've got no comment for that, I'll be honest. It wasn't even on my radar. So
it was on mine, and then all of a sudden there was nothing. No news. And then it was supposedly cancelled, then rebooted. So
yeah. So Kaz, if you were, like, oh, I missed out, you didn't. It was
you
missed out on 2 hours of me whining. Yeah, you did miss out on that.
Which I'm kind of glad about, to be honest.
The pinnacles of them, the best games in my opinion of the show, were Guardians of the Galaxy.
Because that was really good, yes.
they actually showed gameplay.
I really liked it. Like the way because it's a single player game. Yeah, let's start with that. But like the whole group of characters, the whole cast is with you at all times. So they have like banter between them. They interact with each other, and when you go into combat, they try to help you and do things. And it was like watching a movie. And I don't mean that in the bad way. Like, oh, I don't get to interact with the world. I'm just sitting there watching a movie. I'm not saying it like that, but it felt like it's a movie that I'm actually controlling. It felt so lively and
and you can choose the paths as well, so you have different options. In the demo, they had Groot and Rocket. One of them could be the monster that they're supposedly going to sell. Yeah. So they had to outweigh: is it this? Is it that? And then you had another point where it was a vertical, transversal sort of throwing someone over. Is that right? Is that wrong? And then you had one last decision, and you're just thinking like, is that going to be sprinkled throughout the game to give it a bit of
there's a lot of choices that you get to make, and I think that's really nice because you get to replay the game and have a different experience as well, and that's always nice. Yeah, it looked like a really good game, but cool. I don't think that's exclusive though. So
no, it's on pretty much every console.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I don't like exclusives.
It's on Switch, but it's a cloud version, so you'll be playing through the cloud.
Oh, right, okay.
Instead of getting the game, so I'll be getting on the PS5 maybe. I'm going to wait for more gameplay before I do go for it, just in case it's going to be the Avengers game.
I mean, the gameplay we got, because we actually got gameplay from that game, was really good. It looked really sweet.
What were the other ones, David? You were going to say others before you...
The other one is Mario and Rabbids 2, Sparks of Hope. The sequel to Kingdom Battle.
Yeah.
And it's a bit more of a free open RPG rather than an XCOM kind of game. That looks good. It's in the galaxy themed sort of thing. The other one was weirdly, I would say, Sea of Thieves, the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, I missed that one.
Right.
It was actually like, when you see a sort of a license, you think, they're not going to really do anything for it. But then you read into it and you think, oh my goodness, they're actually doing a whole campaign with this. And having the original world as well, have Pirates of the Caribbean elements. So you have, I don't know if they picked Johnny Depp again or if they got on the Racker. Same with the one who played Davy Jones as well.
Wait, Johnny Depp was directing Pirates of the Caribbean.
Was he?
No, but I think that's what you said.
No, not directing. It was voice actor. So,
sorry, I got confused then.
No worries. Yeah. So the voice actor might change.
I mean, that's not a massive issue.
Yeah, I really don't care.
I like Johnny Depp, don't get me wrong, but
save yourself
not really...
like $50 million and get another voice actor and throw that money into development of the game,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not a big deal if they use somebody else, because...
Johnny Depp has enough money. He won't miss your money.
Nope.
Yeah, it's fine. Get, there's so many voice actors. Give some of them a job. Some of the unknown guys that are really good.
Yeah.
I would really like some, that was the other controversy at the time, is like Netflix were announcing TV show adaptations of games. And they were picking certain high-profile actors to play characters that are traditionally played by voice actors. And you think, maybe they should have just got the voice actors in.
Speaking of controversies, though, David, I think there's a bigger one this week that it's on my radar, but I'll be honest. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know Kaz does, because she's been following it.
Oh, yes, please divulge.
Not so much following it, but yeah, it's the Batman controversy. So this was actually brought to my attention recently by I don't think they'd like me calling them that, but friends.
Okay.
Best friends or
no.
The actual cast, the friends? Was it David Schwimmer?
No. There were a couple of my friends.
Oh.
As I said, I don't think they would appreciate me calling them that, but
Just call them people you know.
Chums.
People I know. Brought to my attention the Batman controversy, so I had to look into it, of course, because what they said made me look into it. Really, I couldn't not.
Okay, I'm intrigued now.
So, okay, so the Harley Quinn adult animated series.
No.
Okay, so it's on E4 in the UK, but they're moving on to season 3 soon, and it's adult aimed. Okay, so this show is aimed at adults because they're bad guys. They can also do all sorts of things and get away with it.
Right.
However, at some point in time in season 3, they have Batman. Batman is going down on Harley Quinn, right?
Is Batman going down on Harley Quinn?
Sorry.
Catwoman.
He's going down on Catwoman.
Okay.
Right. So basically, what's happened is that they might be banned from showing this because the board have said that they can't have that because heroes don't do that. And the co-showrunner, Justin Halpern, is like, well, are you telling me that heroes are selfish lovers? And obviously the board are now like, whoa, that's not what we said. However, we have to try and promote Batman toys to kids and to audiences. And we're like, well...
So basically what they're saying is, look, if we show this, we're going to lose money.
They're worried that they might lose money, but at the end of the day, it's aimed at adults, right? Yeah, it's not aimed at children. Children will not be watching it, shouldn't be watching it.
That's true, but here's the interesting bit from my perspective now, as a person who's just been brought into this information.
Mm-hmm.
Kids also buy or want Batman toys, yeah, and traditionally parents buy their children toys. So if you piss off said parents, for instance, by having Batman be this guy who goes down with his girlfriend, and like this super, old-fashioned families go, oh my god, I'm not buying that toy.
But it's aimed at adults. Boy. It's after Watershed. Children would not be watching this. And the sort of people who would watch it are the sort of people who watch E4,
no.
Okay?
I understand what you're saying, but those people exist, and those people are going to say, oh, this hero is now doing this unspeakable sex act, and we can't have our children be associated with that at all. So that's what the people in the decision-making chairs are worried, that they're going to lose money. They don't care about the moral whatever side of it. It's all about money.
They care about money, but at the end of the day, children are not going to be watching this. E4 has a certain audience, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody knows the certain audience that E4 have because...
No, but I've explained to you my logic.
Yeah, and I'm explaining to you my logic, okay? Yeah. Yes, they may be doing it about the money, but at the end of the day, it's an adult show. If the parents don't like their children watching the show, don't let your kids watch the show. But that doesn't mean...
kids watching the show.
Hang on. Please let me finish. That doesn't mean that the show itself has to change the way they are because there's a couple of parents who might be a bit pissed off.
Oh, I 100% agree. Yes.
Yeah.
But
at the end of the day, the way they said... Sorry, David.
No, it's going on to your whole topic as well. Like, there have been shows in the past that have tried to display certain stories and that, and then the networks go in, no, you cannot do this. And they're just saying,
what if Harley Quinn was going down on Batman? Would that be an issue?
No.
But it's because it's a hero doing it.
At the end of the day, I don't think it's an issue at all. I think parents shouldn't let their kids watch adult shows that are rated for adults, and if they're going to be stupid enough to ignore the rating that's on a show, then they should expect to see things they don't want to see. At the end of the day, what they said was heroes don't do that, and that's where this whole thing is lying. Is those words exactly?
But heroes don't have sex.
Heroes don't go down on Catwoman.
Why
or
not?
Heroes don't go down on on women. Apparently, that's where
What?
this is all laying.
What's their logic behind that? Because for me, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why wouldn't
No.
they?
Well,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's where this is all obviously turned around. That the showrunners are like, well, what do you mean they don't do it? That their words were, "Are you saying heroes are just selfish lovers?" Right? Now, obviously, that kind of backtracked them with, "Well, no, but when we're selling toys,
But it's a thing of like, surely there was someone who bought the. Do you remember the Dark Knight and then also Batman? What's the last one? The Dark Knight Rises. That one, because there was a romance between Catwoman and Christian Bale's Batman. Surely there was someone who thought, okay, this is a 12, yes, but can they form a relationship? Even the original Batman Returns had that as well, didn't they? They had Catwoman.
But this is not about, like, it's not.
It's not about the storyline, really.
Yeah,
it's about
it's not
whether
about the
they can get away
storyline.
with it. But I'm looking at it, right, as, well, this opens up a whole new range of toys for adults. I'm just saying.
I don't wanna. I mean, I do.
But they could. Come on, you know you want to go down that route, Vass. You know you want to start talking about them.
I do want to go down that route. Yes.
But that's what I'm talking about. It's like they could go brush this aside and go, okay, that's fine. You play this. It's for adults.
I'm
But
thinking
the merch
Batman
side of things
spelled differently, guys. Batman. So many toy ideas.
At the moment, I don't think the decision's been made as to whether that part of the episode is going to air. But I think they should. I think they should, just because.
No? Anyway, I think
Say
it's
again,
ridiculous.
you think what?
I think it was blocked, but I could be wrong.
No, it hasn't come out yet.
All right, okay.
It's for season 3. Season 3 hasn't come out yet.
I think it's a non-issue. It's hypocritical to say, oh, we can't show it because we have to protect the what. It's not about that. It's they're afraid they're going to lose money. That's all there is to it. They're hypocrites.
That's fine, but what they said, they shouldn't have said it that way. Really, they kind of they done goofed up when they said heroes don't do that.
Yeah,
because you're like, at the end of the day,
it's like winners don't do drugs.
Heroes definitely do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why wouldn't they? Unless your hero is Superman and they fuck differently in Krypton. You know, or whatever.
Hang on, no, that doesn't matter. He grew up on Earth. He knows how to have sex with an Earth woman.
Yeah, but you don't know what his anatomy is like.
And if he doesn't, his parents failed him.
You don't know what his biology is like, though.
No.
Maybe not.
We don't know if Superman has a dick.
Just because he doesn't have a dick doesn't mean he can't go down on a girl.
Maybe
don't
he
need
doesn't
a dick
want
to go down on someone. Just saying.
And that's our advice for today's episode.
I can't wait until David draws the thumbnail for this.
To go down on someone.
Yeah, no, seriously though. You don't need a dick to go down on someone. Even Superman should have been taught by his father that you've got to please a woman. How to please a woman. It's something that should be passed from father to son.
No, but Superman. my point is. Okay, let's ask David. David,
yes.
Has your father had that talk with you?
No.
Seriously,
I've had the public education system tell it for me.
Your parents need to teach you how to have sex. Really.
I learned it from Disney.
How? Okay, so you take your penis.
This is how you do it, but you make sure that the woman finishes it as well. Okay, it's not. Don't be a selfish lover, basically.
David, no, that's stupid. Don't do that. Like, as long as you have an orgasm, that's
don't
fine.
Tell him that.
It should be both.
Do not tell him that. That's Vass. No,
David. Her orgasm, her problem.
Like... And you know that the way that Vass is speaking is something you do not listen to him about this, because I can tell you now that if you do that, you won't be doing it a second time.
Mm. You got your recommended
not
plan,
with the same person.
Not with the same person, no.
Oh, this is my awkward day fast, isn't it? But dear,
Vass is David's cheeks are probably bright red right
they
now.
are
He's
bright
like,
red,
oh
yeah.
my god, this conversation.
David, I have so much knowledge to impart to you, David.
I think everyone does. Everyone just sits me down and goes,
David,
okay.
don't listen to Vass.
It's far beyond the birds and the bees. It's it goes far beyond that. And I get disgusted each time I hear something new. I go, oof. I think that's how I'm aging. It's just like I'm learning more and more about these things, and then I'm just getting more and more wrinkles. And I'm just going, oh, my face is
from the
just
cringing.
Wrinkles.
It's wrinkles from the cringing so much. It's like, why this conversation? His eyes are scrunched up, his brow is furrowed because everybody keeps having these conversations with him and he doesn't want them.
As we discussed in the last episode, sex is disgusting, so it doesn't matter.
I don't even remember that conversation. I must have blotted that one out and gone, no, it's not true.
It's
Move
about
on.
how your brain needs to
flood
your
it
brain
is
in
disgusting.
Chemicals. Yeah.
You're right. I don't think that was the last episode though, because
wasn't it? It's all a blur in my head.
I don't think we had that conversation with Phil.
We didn't have it on air.
I'd have remembered that conversation if we'd had it with Phil. But yeah, sex is quite a gross biological thing.
Yeah.
Should we move on?
Yes.
Vass, what have you been up to this week?
Not sex, I can tell you that much.
And you haven't gone down on anyone, because heroes don't do that.
No, and I am my own hero, so I promise never to go down on a woman again.
That's why you're going to be single.
I've done it when I was younger. I didn't know better, okay? I was like, oh, let's please you as well. Like, I didn't know. But now...
David, don't listen to him.
Now that I've matured...
Oh, yeah, matured.
I know that, a woman is capable of, handling her own orgasms. She doesn't need my help. She's a strong woman, she doesn't need me.
Strong, independent woman.
Exactly.
So basically, you should be capable of handling your own orgasms then.
Yes.
There we go then. And that's why you're single. Moving on.
What have you been up to
this week? Not what you haven't been up to.
Well, I haven't been up to a lot, really, but I am waiting for the release of a book that I've been waiting for a while now, which is for people who play the Expanse role-playing game. It's Ships of the Expanse. So we're finally getting some ships and deck plans and all the nice things we were asking for. And it looks like a really beefy book, and a lot of love has gone into it. A lot of illustrations, and it's not released yet. But last I heard, like yesterday or the day before, they said this week. So guys, you've got a couple of days. Just saying. Before I get really mad and start bashing at you about your fake promises. No, but seriously now.
I still haven't watched all of the TV series.
I'm watching season 5 now.
Oh, season 5 already. Jeez,
Yeah.
I'm never going to catch up then.
Oh, you should.
But then I can't help it. This week I binge watched Sweet Tooth. I managed to watch probably the whole season. I think there's only 8 episodes at the moment though. I managed to watch all of them in probably a space of a few days.
Season 5 of The Expanse has actually been out for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to watch it, which is a good thing, because the other day I was bored. I'm like, oh, you know what? I haven't watched The Expanse. I've got something to do. So that's always nice. But going back to the ships topic, you know how you think of think of a starship, yeah? How is that starship like the decks on it? Like you have got the engines in the back, yeah, and the cockpit up front, right? Okay, so if you're looking at the ship from a top-down view, the compartments are laid in what's the word
Sectors?
I'm looking for? Yeah, so like going from the engines, the engine room, all the way up to the front to the where the pilot is, I guess, the command deck. The problem with that, though, is if you think about it, that when that ship accelerates, yeah, and you're in space, you don't get artificial gravity because the thrust is behind you. What you want is the thrust pushing you to your feet, right? So every show we've watched so far has been a lie, except the shows that have that circular thing that spins their ships to get artificial gravity.
Oh, those things, yeah.
Yeah, but like what the Expanse does, the decks on the ship are actually, I think that's the right word, perpendicular to the engine, so they create like a 90-degree angle, for instance, with the engine. So when the thrust of the engines pushes the ship forward, you actually get artificial gravity in the ship. So as long as the ship is moving forward, you've got gravity in the ship, which no one ever addresses. But the other day I was like, oh yeah, that does make sense. But it's
Yeah.
a thing we take for granted, and you know, I know it's
The
a
thing,
silly thing to focus on.
we've not really been to space, most of us.
No.
So it's not something we would really notice.
And we
I
don't
think
have
it's fair to
millions
say
to
that
fly with
ourselves.
Jeff
most of
Bezos.
people on Earth have not been to space. Yes.
Yeah, so it's not really something we would necessarily notice
But
because we've never experienced it, but
yeah, what I'm
it
trying to
makes
say is that
sense.
I like that they not focus, but they address the little details while not making them the main focus of the thing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of attention to detail. It looks like they've really there's a lot of love put into the show and the product as well. And another thing is like when a ship accelerates and reaches the destination, yeah, and then it's like, oops, stop, let's dock. Why isn't everyone on the windshield? you know, while in the Expanse, like half the trip is spent going towards the destination, and the other half is spent decelerating. They
Okay.
turn the ship around,
Yeah.
and the thrusters are there, and they actually decelerate. And I'm like, huh, yes,
That makes sense.
yeah, because otherwise, if you instantly stop and you're going, I don't know, 0.9 the speed of light, bye bye life.
Yeah.
It'd be like bugs on the windshield, like
Basically, yeah. So I'm really enjoying these things, and I'm glad to see that they made it into the role playing game as well. The one thing I don't enjoy is
okay.
that I like the Expanse so much now, and I like Traveler so much.
Oh, no.
And I have to make a choice now, like because I was planning to run a science fiction campaign, and I was like, I'm gonna use Traveler, but now, like, why do they have to go and release another quality product?
Can you not like merge them together? Take the best bits from both.
Yeah,
No?
but that would mean I make my own system or something.
Done.
Yeah,
Why don't you use
because I have that much
Starfinder?
free time.
Well, you
When don't I
have.
use Starfinder? Because it's too crunchy for what I want to
Oh,
run.
yeah, no. I played Starfinder for a long time. I enjoyed it, mostly because I enjoyed the company and the game that we were playing. But there is a lot when it
Like,
comes to character
enjoying the
sheets.
company, you don't mean Paizo, right? You mean the people you're playing with.
The people I was playing with,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
the company that not
Just
Paizo.
checking.
No. I mean, I had a character who was an envoy, so basically a diplomat.
Yeah.
And I actually, there's a little quirk in the game. Either I was doing it really wrong, or this is actually like a proper weird loophole. But every time you put a stat into language, you learn a new language. Right? And I ended up collecting so many languages just because. I had like 20 by the end of it. I knew pretty much every language.
like, depends. Like,
Multilinguist.
It was a long campaign, but yeah, I was just collecting languages as I went along just because I could easily.
it really depends, like, what you mean by knowing a language. Like, at what level did you know them? Like, were you a fluent speaker? Did you know some basic words of the language? Because,
in all honesty, it just said you know the language.
right, yeah, that's ridiculous. Like from a role playing perspective, at least, I don't know how they handled it mechanically, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I could understand other people talking that language.
Yeah, if it was like phrases like you had to have,
I mean,
like in
I
Pathfinder
know how to
2e
say you're an
change.
asshole in a couple of languages, but that doesn't mean I
I know
speak
how
the
to say it
language.
in English,
Okay, how do you say it in
but
English?
you're an asshole.
Oh my god, I never knew
I
that.
know how to say it in Welsh as well.
Do you?
You're an asshole. You just notice there's a slight difference in arsehole and asshole.
Yeah,
I've
but
got the
surely the
accent right.
your bit is different in Welsh, right?
You are.
Oh, sorry. You're an asshole.
Isn't that more
That's
Scottish?
oh my god,
I
that's
don't do
cultural. That's
accents.
cultural appropriation, Kaz.
Nah.
I can't
I've lived in
believe.
Wales long enough. I can get away with it.
Mhm.
Besides, what are Wales gonna do? Kick me out?
Uh,
No, they don't kick people out. Give over.
I mean,
No.
if they haven't kicked
They
me
get
out yet,
invaded, but they don't
let's be
kick
honest.
people out.
Oh God! Can I just say that the views expressed by single members of this panel are their own views, and they don't represent the rest of us.
I'm
That
joking.
being
I'm
said,
joking.
Wales has been invaded a lot.
Well, unfortunately, they are also still very bitter about it.
Mm.
But most of the UK hate the English anyway, so
Yeah. It seems to be a whole like you shake hands, but it's secretly you're like plotting
Shake
against each other.
hands?
You know, yeah.
No.
Remember that?
no. It's still elbow taps. There is no
Mm.
shaking hands in this country.
Shaking
No.
hands and hugging.
You wave from a distance. We
Or
still have to
usual-
stay 2 meters apart, you know. There's no shaking hands allowed.
Or you turn around and sort of bend your leg and sort of touch each other's feet. You know,
Foot tap.
it's a foot tap, but
It's a weird
backwards.
Celtic thing. Don't worry about it, Vass.
No, he said bend your legs, so both your legs.
And then lift up a leg and tap your feet to each
Mhm.
other. One
And
foot
you do a little
side to
jazz
side.
hand wig, like
No,
a little,
David.
Yeah.
Now you're taking it to the extreme. I actually, you know what? I want to see you do that without falling over.
Anyway, so back to the the Expanse.
Yeah.
The one thing I really like about the Expanse, and because
Mhm.
we've played a couple of age systems, you and me, Kaz, we've played the Dragon Age.
Yep.
So it's the same. Well, not the same, but it's
Did you say a couple of age systems and then listed just Dragon Age?
Yeah, because I thought we had played another one as well.
I don't know. To be honest, I played a lot of games.
What
I
does
can't
the
necessarily remember them all.
does the system differ from, say, D&D and the D20 system?
There's no. It's a totally different approach. I can't explain it, but it's more suited to. It's more rules light. I would say it's a little bit more open to interpretation, and it likes doing fancy things like stunts, which is one of the ththings that I really enjoyed about Age.
Yes.
And it has carried over to the Expanse, which I'm really happy about.
Oh, that's good.
That's pretty cool.
So, like when you roll like 3d6 when you do whatever, and one of the die is called the control die or something. Anyway, it's a special die, and when the number you roll, if you roll double, is the same with the number on the control die, you get to do a special thing, which is called a stunt. So you get how many stunt points, and you go, ooh, I'll do this extra thing, or that extra, or I have my attack hit
a lot of it is
person,
extra damage onto something.
Yeah, so it makes what usually is a very dull back and forth combat. It makes it more exciting because a lot of things can happen that change the flow of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, let's be honest, we all want to feel like heroic in a combat or do something kick-ass and amazing.
Yeah.
And the system allows you to do that. And I like how it works because it's something that happens often, but not overused.
Too often to be like, okay. Okay. I wondered how it differed because I know with a lot of systems I've played, they've been very D20 focused rather than rolling multiple different kinds of dice at the same time or having different type of rules with points and various other systems. But okay.
Yeah. That's so that's the age system that they're using, which is based on fantasy age, but they're doing like a science fiction version of it as well now, separate from the Expanse. Yeah, it's a nice rule system. I think it lends itself nice to the game. Not everything has to be, this amazing, innovative system. If it serves the story that you want to say, it's fine. Use whatever works.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Oh.
So when you running that?
That's a good question. I need to finish. I need to finish the Call of Cthulhu game we're running first.
Yeah.
Which you keep. I say you, the collective you.
I was
keep
going to say,
postponing.
not just me.
Yeah,
it does. It's
fair,
happening quite a bit.
It's you and Nick. David is usually available.
Yeah.
Well, I was available for ages, and then Nick was like, "I decided to move house."
Yeah, how
Bloody
dare he?
Nick moving house.
Get a house.
And then he didn't unpack his computer, which really, it should be the first thing you unpack.
Mm-hmm. It would be
Forget
the first thing I unpack,
knives and plates and food and stuff.
Order takeout.
Yeah.
Unpack your PC.
It'd be in bags for a week.
Unpack the PC.
Yeah.
So, that's his fault.
We need to do that, and then I need to make a decision. I need to decide if I want to run this science fiction campaign that it's been on my head for like 20 years now, or do another big Call of Cthulhu game. I think I'm going to go with the science fiction one, because I need a break from the whole gloomy, doomy Call of Cthulhu.
I find it funny that you think that the space one isn't going to be gloomy and doomy.
Oh, it's going to be gloomy and doomy. It is.
But it's just going to have laser guns.
I know. It's you. Gloomy doomy in space.
Yeah. It's not going to be a space opera. It's going to be like probably a bit hard science fiction, I guess.
Okay.
It's going to be a little bit space opera. But not Star Wars levels of space opera.
No. Please don't.
No. No, it's not my thing. You know it's not my thing. I enjoy Star Wars, but I'm a Star Trek guy.
Yeah, we know how Kaz feels about Star Wars.
Yeah,
I know
how I feel about Star Wars.
You speak about yourself in the third person.
Yeah, but we know how Kaz feels about them.
Oh, that Kaz! What a character!
Yeah. She's good though.
Speaking about characters, actually.
Yes, David?
So, going on about tabletop adventures at the moment, and I was enjoying a nice cornetto whilst looking at all your gifts from last week's Odyssey.
Should we give some context to our listeners?
No.
Yes.
David doesn't get context. Why do the listeners?
So, before you go on the phone about Odyssey, may I ask, right, by the gifts being presented, did it involve anything to do with sort of fathers or mothers coming back, alien races?
I don't even remember the gifts we posted.
Did you say fathers or mothers coming back? Or
alien races? Yes.
No.
Coming back, like, what do you mean? Like from the dead?
Yes. Or...
I don't think so, no.
No, it didn't. Not really.
Oh, right. So, tell us, how was your Odyssey adventure?
It was ridiculous, as always, in a very good way. Like, we did the most silly things.
Always.
Like, we got summoned by these really nasty, obnoxious dragon riders to go to the king, because the king summoned us, and we're like, okay, can we ride on your dragon? So we get there fast, and we're like, no, you have to walk while we fly.
Apparently they didn't have enough dragons for us. We had already left the area and were in the middle of the mountains when he called us back, so we were all kind of, half of us were deciding no, fuck him, and then we realised that he's actually the king of the entire area.
We cannot fuck him.
And if we say no, we could have.
But you have to have royal permission.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so obviously we had to go down on him, to him.
Wait, I thought heroes don't do that.
Who said I was a hero?
Was he actually a villain? And so
chaotic neutral here.
Heroes don't go down.
I should have said that. Oh, if I'd known about this, I'd have said that to Phil when the king summoned us. I'd have been like, I'm sorry, the heroes don't go down.
So we get summoned to the king, who basically summoned us for a stupid non-reason.
Yeah.
It's like, can you make this decision for me? I'm like, dude, you're the king. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, but apparently because we are the chosen ones, the ones that the Oracle prophesied that we're gonna save the multiverse.
Stupid man.
Yeah. So we had to make the decision, and we're like, yeah, sure, whatever, do that.
Yeah.
Which I don't even remember what the decision was. I think it was, let's sacrifice part of our godly essence.
We sacrificed all of our gods to bloody stop. Which I thought was bloody ridiculous. The gods...
So, there was like a magical storm happening above the city from this titan that was angry. And the only way to stop it, well, not the only way, but the way we decided was to perform this ritual that required each of the gods present, because the gods are on Earth in Odyssey, as you know, Greek gods were, to sacrifice like part of their godliness to the ritual. So we convinced them. We convinced the actual gods to do that.
It was my fault a little bit, because we tried to convince them, and in the end I was like, look, you don't have to do this, but we'd really appreciate it if you did. And they were like, that's all we needed to hear. And I was like, God damn it, I'm not good at diplomacy. Like, I'm a barbarian. I got no charisma in me at all. And all I had to say was, you don't have to, but we'd appreciate it. Fucking ridiculous.
The only reason we went there was because we actually wanted to get a boat, right?
Yeah.
Because there's this legendary boat that we need to repossess in order to go fight the Titans it's like we have to sail across an ocean and go to this other land and blah blah. So that's really why we're there, and why we couldn't say, oh, fuck you, king, because we needed
the boat,
king, basically.
Okay.
But I'm looking at our gifts now. They don't make any fucking sense. I don't know.
Nope. You can see what I mean.
Well, no, because we ended off the session with joining the games, the city games,
yes.
And that's what the bobsleigh gift that someone posted was about.
Next session, we're starting like on the Olympics or something, to that effect.
Yeah, great games.
That's the Jamaican bobsleigh team.
So,
because there were 4 of us, so
you went from being in the middle of a mountain to then fulfilling a prophecy to meeting the gods to then get a boat to then do the Olympics.
No, we're the
champions. So, okay, so all right, so we've got a couple of gifts about dragons, right? The first few were about dragons, were the fact that some people turned up with dragons, and we had a list of things that we could make if we had dragon scales. So there was this thing before they said go see the king. We were like, well, how about we just kill them and steal their dragon scales? And then we were like, well, we can't do that because they were sent by the king, blah, blah, blah. Then there's a gif about, I am your king, I didn't vote for you. That's where the whole, well, should we go and see him? And I was like, I was saying no, but everyone else was like, oh, he's a king, you have to. And we figured we've got to go back because we had a bag full of dwarf skulls.
He's not just the king, he's a god as well.
Yeah, but not my
god. Or yeah.
But we had a bag full of dwarf skulls. I can't remember the reason why, but we had to sell them.
Because someone told us, if you get us dwarf skulls, we'll pay you like 10 gold a piece. And we're like, fuck yeah, we're getting some dwarf skulls. I want to say we didn't kill dwarves to get those skulls.
There's the Winnie the Pooh.
Did you ransack an old tomb and got them?
Basically, yes.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
We didn't desecrate a tomb. I wanna clarify that.
So yeah, there's a Winnie the Pooh. Where he's got the normal face and then he's got the face in his tux and whatever. Getting money from a dwarf skull. Getting money from a dwarf for skull. Getting money from a dwarf for head. Right, and then you've got the Monty Python where he's getting attacked by the rabbit. That's because my character was walking down the path because she's a barbarian. She goes up front. And there was a rustling in the bush, and she said, we're either going to get ambushed, or it might be a bunny rabbit. Who knows? Yeah.
Kill all Monty Python.
It wasn't a bunny rabbit.
Basically, literally every single thing that happened, someone decided to post a GIF. Because you said that you looked at the GIFs, and tried to piece together the story from it, and so that's literally why everyone was posting a GIF to try and throw you off. And it worked, apparently.
It did.
I
thought it was about
wasn't actively
aliens and
trying to throw
fathers.
you off.
Uh,
Yeah, it worked.
no, a lot of these GIFs were from Aiden as well, who didn't know anything about that. So,
That's true.
to be fair, yeah, I'd say
Have I ever met Aiden?
No,
probably
you have not.
No.
Ah,
We've kept you away from him because he's a good friend and we don't want to lose him.
Oh,
that's
that's
not
mean.
No, it just it just hasn't happened.
You just haven't. Yeah, you just haven't merged groups yet. But
we need to.
I have fulfilled the soul bond with whoever, but
fulfilled.
that's,
No,
I just want to say, because I touched on it earlier, right?
Yeah.
The whole Sweet Tooth thing. You guys should watch it. I thought it was really good.
What is Sweet Tooth?
Okay, so obviously everything in the world at the moment is all talking about viruses and shit like that. So in Sweet Tooth, the world has been struck by a virus.
Okay.
Right.
And they don't know whether it's a coincidence or whether it stemmed from the virus or what, but babies are being born as hybrids, cross between human and animal. So, David, you're going to really love it because,
because you're weird.
The furry aspect, okay? But there's obviously a lot of when you get all those sort of shows where the world is ending, there's people who turn to bad, and there's this, that, and the other. So you've got the last men and things like that who are trying to kill off all of these baby hybrids.
Okay.
So yeah, it's all centralized around one baby hybrid.
Are the baby hybrids evil?
No, they're babies.
Mm-hmm. And the hybrids.
There's one hybrid called his name's Gus, but they call him Sweet Tooth because he likes sugary things, and he is part deer, part human. Mm-hmm. And basically, it's all about his journey and.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
His journey and obviously the way human race has gone since this virus hit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty good. Is
it animated or is it?
No, it's real life.
Is it
not really real life because obviously
it's
actors.
Yeah,
it's not CGI. Okay. It's real people with makeup for the prosthetics and shit like that. Yeah.
All right.
Is it the one directed by Robert Downey Jr.?
I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't think so.
I remember his name being attached to it in the big, because it's a DC property, Sweet Tooth. And,
that's why I'm thinking maybe not, but
I don't know. It was on my list anyway. I've got it set up on Netflix anyway, so I've just finished JoJo, so I'll be able to do that. Watch something.
I didn't know Robert Downey Jr. was directing.
He's done a few directing roles. He did one about a judge he's always wanted to do, but I've never his name being tied to the project.
I just checked. He hasn't directed any. Jim Mickle, Toa Fraser, and Robin Grace have all directed episodes. So
what did he do then?
I don't know. Maybe he just
credit?
Maybe he's not. He is not in it at any point that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he pushed some money into it.
Maybe
he could be an executive producer or something.
He might be a producer. Yeah. To be honest, I've no idea, but he hasn't directed any that I can.
I mean, if he's not starring in it or directing it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like his involvement doesn't concern us.
Yeah, he's an executive producer.
Yeah.
There we go. Mystery.
Perhaps he wanted to lay low.
To be fair, there's like 15 executive producers though, so.
Yes, really. But he is the most executive of them all.
He has been the executive producer for all 8 episodes, along with Jim Mickle, John Myrick, Beth Schwartz, Michael Brennenbaum, Melanie Turner.
Oh, Melanie, yeah, nice girl.
Yeah.
Nice girl, Melanie.
So there's quite a few that have done all 8, and then obviously it starts dropping off. So 7, 3, 2, 1 sort of thing. So there's a lot of producers, but
they can't stand him, so they start dropping. Like, oh my god, I can't work with him.
Or is that how he lives? He sort of absorbs the latest.
I've heard
executive
he's
producer.
actually a really, really nice person.
Mm-hmm.
But by the way,
Genuinely, I've heard he's a nice person. So
I have no idea. I'm just, it was an easy joke and I took it.
yeah.
I like
Oh
the
yeah,
guy.
of course.
Like I've seen him, like in the movies I've seen him, he seems like a nice guy. And I've seen some interviews where they treated him like shit, and I'm like, oh, he doesn't deserve that, because they were focusing, on his drag rehab and all that. And it's
Yeah.
like, dude, the guy has cleaned up. He's moved on. Just let it go. Why are you doing that to him? Like, can we focus on his movie instead? You're interviewing him about his movie. Don't be a dick. Like, seriously.
See, I've seen a lot of interviews, other actors who have worked with him, and they've all said he's really nice. I think on the set of most of the Marvel films, he opened up his trailer for like a party trailer and just let people come in and relax, because he had the best trailer out of all of them.
Nice.
So yeah, he just seems like a really nice guy. But producer, not director or anything,
guy.
but producer.
Robert, if you're listening to our podcast, we'd love to have you as a guest, man. And we won't ask you any of those cringy questions that you get asked, I promise.
Yeah. No, I want to know if
except from David. David might ask you some cringy questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't
it'd
promise.
be 2-forked, 3-forked, 4-pronged questions.
No, I thought it was a 4-pronged, 2-forked question.
It was a 2-parter, 3-pronged question with 4 possible. I don't know.
it was a lot of forks, no sporks. A lot of forks, no sporks.
Oh man,
that's gonna be your new saying, isn't it, David? A lot of forks, no sporks. I don't even know what it means, but that's definitely David all over.
Yeah, that is me.
We would really like to hear your opinion, by the way, on our last episode. Like, if you'd like, us having a guest with us.
We enjoyed it.
I mean, it's not something that we're going to do like all the time, but we'd like to bring some people over, occasionally from the industry or people we admire for whatever reason, and have them sit with us and share their thoughts and geekiness.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, and hopefully give us some coherent structure to our podcast as
That's
well.
not going to happen.
Don't be
not
silly.
people we know, at least. It's not. It's not going to happen.
No. Wow.
But I think I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I think we're up for time today now, guys.
Oh,
yeah.
I think it's time that we said goodbye while we're at a natural lull.
Okay.
Thank you everybody for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you for next week.
See you next
Bye.
week. Bye.
Bye. Nice one.